Hi, I'm Andy. In today's story, you will see how long is the Great Wall exactly, why was the Great Wall not originally designed to keep out the nomadic attacks, a crying wolf story of a Chinese king 3,000 years ago, the story of the assassination of the first emperor of China. In 2012, China officially announced the total length of the Great Wall to the world for the first time. It's 21,196.18 kilometers. The Great Wall could connect the South Pole to North Pole along the surface of the Earth. Why did the Chinese build the Great Wall? Let's find out in the history. In 1000 BC, the Zhou Dynasty was founded along the Yellow River on the Loess Plateau in West China. They overthrew the rule of the Shang Dynasty, the first Chinese dynasty with written history. The ruler of the Zhou Dynasty made himself the Son of Heaven. He engulfed the land to the members of the royal family. At this time, the Yellow River basin was hit by a cold spell. The warm and humid climate became arid. The lords were able to get more food by irrigating their land. Territory fighting along the Yellow River became a top priority for each kingdom. The reign of the Zhou lasted for a century and a half. Chinese farming economies were formed in the Yellow River and the Yangtze River valleys. Population increased dramatically and wealth gathered in abundance in the cities. The writing characters and the art of bronze casting matured in China. As the farming areas continued to expand to the north, an unfamiliar grassland appeared before the Zhou regime. They called the nomads barbarians. In 900 BC, the cold wave ended. The population and livestock grew dramatically due to the grassland became white and fertile again. The pressure on the grassland forced the nomads to move south for survival. In 779 BC, the beacon tower appeared on the mountain near the Zhou capital. This was a very effective information transmission system. People built beacon towers in every 5 kilometers. The monarch of Zhou ordered his soldiers to guard the beacon tower day and night. When the soldiers found the enemy was attacking from northwest, they would beat a big drum and make a smoke during the day, light a fire at night. The number of the smoke, fire, and the drums beaten sent different signals. In this way, the lords would bring troops to rescue the capital and show their loyalty to the monarch of Zhou. Once, when the lords rushed to the capital, when they saw the signals from the beacon towers, nothing happened. What's going on? It turned out that the monarch of Zhou had a beautiful concubine, but she never smiled. So the monarch ordered to light the beacon towers to tease the lords. The concubine smiled. Then, the monarch lit the beacon tower over and over again. Later, a few angry lords united with the nomadic tribes to attack the capital. When the beacon fire was lit again, no more loyal lords came. The monarch of Zhou was killed, and his concubine was taken away. The capital was burned down. This is the story of a foolish Chinese king who crying wolf. And this was the first time in Chinese history that the nomads were involved in overthrow a farming regime. In 771 BC, some other lords escorted the descendants of the Zhou royal family to the lower Yellow River and established the new capital. Then, Chinese history entered a weird period which was called the Spring and Autumn Warring States. Although the Zhou royal family survived, the monarch still seemed to be the common lord of China, but they had lost their glory and influence. Some daring lords even teased and provoked the monarch of Zhou, the Son of Heaven. The problems and conflicts among the states were used to be mediated by monarch of Zhou. Later, they solved their problems by their own military power. In 656 BC, the state of Chu wanted to defend against the attack of the state of Qi. They built a stone square city in an open valley and connected it with a stone wall which was built on the mountain ridge. This was the first time the Great Wall appeared in Chinese history. In the following 100 years, all the other states followed the Chu and started to build the Great Wall. It took the state of Qi more than 170 years to build a 610 kilometers stone Great Wall, which was 3 meters wide and 4 meters high with 12 passes, 50 barracks, and 12 beacon towers. This is the ruins of the Great Wall and Beacon Tower, which was made of rammed earth by the state of Wei in 400 BC. Before the Great Wall was built, the heavy chariot was the main force of the troop. There were 3 armed warriors on each chariot, 1 driver, 1 archer, and 1 halberdier. Later, as the number of the troops increased, Infantry and cavalry gradually replaced the chariot. Cavalry played a more and more important role on the battlefield. Cities were more difficult to defend against the enemy's rapid cavalry, so people built the Great Wall to stop the cavalry. In 400 BC, nomadic tribes appeared in the grassland of northern China. These archers on horseback became a horrible enemy for the state of Zhou. For the nomads on grassland, hiding southward and looting was a must-do adventure in fall. Because winter was approaching, they needed more food to survive. Chinese clothing was wide and loose. It's good for ceremony, but nomadic clothing was suitable for combat. Horse was faster than chariot. Bow and arrow could kill enemy 150 meters away. The lord of Zhou State ordered his soldiers to put on nomadic clothing and practice shooting arrows on horseback. They built a great wall near the buffer zone on northern grassland. This strategy kept the nomadic cavalry out of the Great Wall. Since then, the Great Wall became a dividing line between the north and the south of China. This ruins of fortress is the westernmost end of the Zhao Great Wall, which was built in 300 BC. This rammed earth Great Wall on the northern edge of the grassland was built by the mighty state of Qin in 306 BC. We could find the ruins of a 10-meter-high beacon tower. This is the oldest beacon tower we could find. In 300 BC, the nomadic tribes on the Mongolian grassland were defeated by the army of the Yan state. They retreated 500 kilometers to the north. Then, Yan state built the Great Wall in the northern mountains. 2,300 years later, the ruins of this stone Great Wall was less than 1 meter high, but you can still see the wall on the mountain slopes. Local herdsmen collected the stones from the Great Wall and piled up prayer stones. The state of Qin was located at the western frontier and grew stronger through reforms. They built a centralized feudal regime. Under the leadership of Ying Zheng, the Qin started the war to unify China from the west to the east. After defeating the neighboring states and annexing their territories one by one, Qin began to march towards the states of Yan in the north. Yan sent 2 warriors to present a map to the lord of Qin. In those days, if one country offered a map of a certain area to another country, it meant that that territory would be ceded. When one warrior of Yan unfolded the map in front of the lord of Qin, there was a dagger at the end of the scroll. The warrior thrust the dagger at the lord of Qin. The lord was terrified and fled in panic. The assassin was killed eventually. By the way, this lord of Qin was the one who unified China and called himself the first emperor of Qin. The title of emperor appeared in Chinese history for the first time. The angry lord of Qin waged a war of revenge against the state of Yan. The Yan state was defeated and vanished. When Qin unified China in 221 BC, the Great Wall among the states were demolished one after another, except the wall facing the nomads on the grassland. If you'd like to know more about the Chinese stories, please subscribe to this channel. See you next time. Bye bye.